Hi everyone, welcome to iCook, u-Crave. So today we're kicking off with a beef and veggie vermicelli stir fry. Let's get into it. So we have thinly sliced bell peppers, carrots, shredded cabbage, fresh sliced mushrooms, diced beef, onions, green pepper thinly chopped, garlic diced, and these are my spices that I'll be using. So I have paprika, oregano, mixed herbs, all peppers, white pepper, and powdered red pepper. This is the rice noodles I'll be using, the vermicelli I'll be using. It has 5 nests, so you can just take any that you need, but I'll be using all. And I got my oyster sauce. I have my that sauce over here as well. You can use light sauce as well. I have sesame oil, and then this is vegetable oil. Not a lot of vegetable oil. So I started off with boiling water, and I added my rice noodles to the boiling water. In this case, I'm using all the pack. You can choose to use however many nests you want to, but I'm using all the 5 nests. I think this is about 5 servings, so yeah, just for your reference. So soak them in the boiling water for about 4 to 5 minutes, or until they're tender but not mushy. You don't want it too soggy, just tender, not soggy. Give it a gentle stir to prevent them from sticking together. After they've soaked, you drain them and rinse under cold water to stop the cooking process and keep them nice and springy. Now let's spice up the beef whilst we wait for the vermicelli to soak. Add all the spices to the beef, then mix all together and let it sit for a few minutes to soak up all those flavors, okay? What you want to do over here is make sure all the beef is covered in spice to get that taste. You can either use a spoon or your hands. I prefer to use my hands to get the spice coated everywhere. This step is very important because it allows the beef to be infused with that rich, savoury flavour. Yeah, so what we're going to do after is let it marinate for just a few minutes to let those spices really soak in. I check on my rice noodles, and as you can see, it looks nice and tender. So I would be draining that out. So once that's done, it's time to stop the cooking process. I add cold water, give it a stir, and then drain that out as well. Dipping in cold water helps them stay springy and prevents them from getting too soft or sticky. So what I'm going to do after is leave it to drain to get as much water out as I can, because you want it dry. So while that heats, I heat a pan over medium heat, add a little bit of oil, and then I would be adding my beef. A little bit of oil because there's going to be the juices from the beef. Give it a little bit of stir to make sure it's distributed evenly in the pan. Now we cover with a lid and allow it to steam. Over here, this is what it's going to look like. Soft and tender. So I'm just going to be checking to see the tenderness of the beef. So I would leave this covered for some time until the liquid reduces around the beef, then take it out. Yes, this is what we're looking for. Just need to check with the tenderness of the beef. See, nice and brown. So I will be taking this out, and what I'll do next is add my mushrooms. I like to cook the mushrooms in the same liquid that the beef was steamed in. So here are my mushrooms, spread them evenly in the pan. So to get these flavors, sauces and juices in the mushroom as well. We don't want a blunt taste mushroom. So I cover it and let them cook in that rich spiced liquid so you can have all the flavor. Whilst that's cooking, in a bowl, I'd add 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons dark sauce, 1 teaspoon sesame oil, it's very necessary, 1 teaspoon oyster sauce, and half teaspoon chili flakes. Now we give that a stir until they're evenly mixed. I'll set this aside and check on my mushrooms. Now, this is the mushrooms, nice and cooked. All the liquid soaked inside the mushrooms. I'll take this and set aside as well. Now, mixing the rice. In a bowl, I put my rice noodles all dried out. You don't want liquid in here. See, not mushy. Nice, tender. I'll then add my sauce mixture to bring the noodles to life. So the noodles will suck up all that savoury, spicy goodness. So this is where real flavour kicks in, okay? Tying everything together with a delicious finish. Gently toss them to make sure every strand is coated. So the noodles were a bit too light for me, so I added a bit more dark sauce. So if you want, the darker you want your noodles, the more dark sauce you add. Now let's bring everything together in the wok. So add a bit of oil in your wok. If you're adding eggs, this is the perfect time to do it. So put in your eggs and stir till scrambled. This is what it should look like. Set that aside. After, I add a bit of oil and add my already cooked beef and mushrooms to the pan. I give it a bit of stir and let it simmer for a bit. I go in with my diced garlic for a rich aromatic base. Give it a stir and allow that to simmer for a bit as well. I then go in with my bell peppers and carrots. Give them a quick stir to keep them crisp but tender. Now this is what it's looking like. I'm gonna cover it with a lid and leave that to simmer for a bit. After a few minutes, I go on to check on it. Give it a quick stir as well. Now I add my shredded cabbage and allow everything cook down together just for a few minutes. I go back to check on my vegetables. At this point, what I would be doing is stir frying them until they're just soft. Or if you prefer them crunchy, you just check on it and see if that's how you like it. So you can cook them to your preferred texture basically, but I like it a bit soft, so I'm just going to be stirring and tossing to prevent it from burning. So here is the preferred texture that I want. So once the vegetables have reached my preferred texture or your preferred texture, either soft, crisps, or somewhere in between, then it's time to add your eggs. I give that a stir until evenly distributed as well, just to make sure everything is nice and put together. I go in with my onions to have that crunchy sort of taste. Now this is what I'm talking about. Now I've got a beautiful savoury mix. The beef is tender, the mushrooms are soaking up all that flavour, and the veggies are perfect, vibrant and packed with taste. I'll cover it for a bit and check on my noodles. Now look at what the noodles is looking like. Every part is covered in the sauce mixture. Nice and evenly distributed. Not mushy, just tender. So I check on my mixture. There you go, the richness of the mixture before adding the noodles. Right, so I'm just gonna give it a little bit of stir, separate it, and then just toss in my noodles. So I toss in the noodles and watch everything come together. Just mix it till everything is evenly distributed. There we go, nice. The noodles soaked up all that savoury goodness from the beef. mushrooms, and veggies. This creates a colourful, flavourful mix, so it's both basically vibrant and satisfying. Now you've got a perfect balance of textures and taste in every single bite. So from here, I'll stir for a bit, put the lid, leave it to simmer, come back to stir for a bit, then it's time to plate. Now everything is done. Look at that flavorful meal. Right, so it's time to serve this vibrant stir fry hot. And if you like, garnish with a sprinkle of fresh herbs or a dash of chili flakes if you want. But I would be using my thinly chopped green pepper for garnishing. And I would enjoy a hearty, flavorful meal that's sure to satisfy every craving. And there you have it, a delicious, colorful stir fry that's bursting with flavor. The moment of truth. One bite and you know why I crave this. And look at that. Just look at that. Tender beef. Mmm. Mmm. If you're a chopstick lover like me, you can also substitute a fork for that. Just look at that. Look at that. Nice and hot. I like how the beef tastes. Not so hard, not so soft. Very tender. And there you have it. If you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see me cook next, okay? And remember, here at iCook, u-Crave, we make food you'd crave. See you next time.